welcome. We're looking at a piece of software today for intro price a measly €49, or if you buy a tube amp, you actually get it for free. How is that? Apparently, and I don't quite get the whole hype about that part, it's the first software ever to be released along with a real tube amp. I feel Blackstar did that with the St. James series. They just did the software a year later. So it is the first time they ever released something together. Now, Laney, who are very clever people with stuff you can actually hold, tubies and pedals and stuff like this, a wide range of great products for many years, they know they're not the people for software, for Ampsims and plugins. They know who is. So they went to Aurora, who have done the brilliant Mr. Hector and Gorilla Bass plugin and loads of other things, and said, we want to work with you. And Aurora, those guys, are massive Laney fans. So it's kind of a match made in metal heaven. So when you buy one of the new Laney Ironheart, I think there's a combo and a smaller head and a bigger head. Look it up. You actually get the software included. But if you don't want to go and get the amp and mic it and get it in all loud and go on stage and be sweaty and have people throwing beer at you, and you want to work at home and create masterpieces, then you can just get the software directly from Aurora and spend right now $49, which is, I think, for what you're getting, pretty ridiculous, if you ask me. This is what it looks like. I was asked to do this, and I have to go to NAMM tomorrow, which means I don't have a lot of time, so I'm not 100% uppity up on everything. This is kind of a rushed review, but then you also see me reacting realistically. I spent about 10 minutes with it so far, and I already found out that, no, this is not your Fender, no, it's not a Mesa, no, it's not a Marshall. You know what it is? It's a fucking Laney, because it says Laney on it, with Aurora on top. Hey, that one R is the rock. It has its sound. It has a very bitey, in the top end, aggressive tone. And it's also very unique in the mids. So it's not your crystal clean Fender clean. It is a Laney Ironheart clean. I would have loved to have the amp here to compare, because it's supposed to be exactly like the new amp. But time-wise, that wouldn't have worked out, and Laney already had a marketing budget and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not going to look at the amp. So I cannot actually make any statements about whether that sounds like the amp or not. I can tell you what this sounds like, and it sounds unique. I have a hunch, and again, I didn't have enough time to actually put it in a mixed track, other than noodling over my Buddy Tom Jam stuff, where it was really fun, lots of gain there. I have a hunch that in a mix, this rules. From my experience as a producer, I can hear that those sounds in a mix are sitting perfectly. So we have, the layout's weird. Laney is weird when it comes to that. We have a clean channel with a clean volume right here. And that can be switched to rhythm right there. And you can actually see that the settings switch over, so it remembers the settings. The real amp won't do that. Clean has volume, rhythm has gain. So when you're on rhythm, sorry, I'm looking over there, but that's where my computer is. I could actually look over that now. Clean volume, when you switch it to rhythm, it becomes gain. And it has a shared EQ on the amp. In the software, it's not shared. It's just remembering what you had set up. And then there's your rhythm volume. So clean and rhythm is kind of shared down there, but on the software, not really. Yay, software. Then you've got lead, which you switch over here. So technically you've got channel 1, channel 2 shared, channel 3, and that's where your gain is for your lead. 3-band EQ, lead volume. There isn't really a master section. There isn't a master section with presence, depth, or resonance, as some people call it, and not even a master volume. Maybe that watts level is your master volume. But technically, that's not really what a watts dial does. Again, don't have the amp here, can't really tell you. It'll make it loud and soft, but also other things. Then there's a dynamics dial here. Good question what that does. We're going to listen. Tone makes sense. So that's like a master tone and a master reverb. Can turn it on and off, but why would you want to turn it off? And then there's the big red button, which is a preamp type boost, which is very cool. So see it as like a 1 or 2 dB boost. So you can actually see that the settings switch over. built-in overdrive, which you can turn on and off for each channel. Wait, is it going to remember that? Let's see. No, it isn't. Okay, so technically that's the amp section. As far as I can tell, when you play in mono, it stays mono and on one side. So really to get it stereo, you have to play in stereo. There isn't a mono to stereo conversion as far as I could tell. So right now I'm running it in mono. You can go before the amp, and you've got the Steel Park boost, pretty flexible boost, and the Monolith overdrive. Nothing too high gainy there, you're just pushing an amp. The amp has so much gain, it's just for different flavors. And each of them has switched with 3 different flavors anyway, so that makes it math. There's a gate here, which I have on because that amp cranks, so you want the gate on. Input volume, output volume. You can see I have the output volume down a bit. Then there's a cab section, and they have 2 cabs, LA412 and GS412. They have a 57, a 247, dynamic 421, a ribbon, and that's it. So 4 mics, 2 cabs. You know what? That is enough. It all has a very unique flavor. I mean, yes, you can. I wouldn't go and throw loads of IRs at it and get your own sounds and change it into something that it's not. I would recommend, you can, you can even export the IRs, you can get custom IRs, load it, anything you have. If you have your favorite cab, I would say play with this because they did a great job and get the sound that it has and use that sound because it's a unique tone. You have a mic position to move it around. You have a mic angle. Look at this, how beautiful. Someone's killing a cat in the other room. I told them, don't kill the cat, but someone is. And there's also distance. It's beautifully animated here. Look at this. Mic distance, mic angle, mic Wozniak. Okay, IR on, IR off. So you could actually just turn the IR off completely, run it into your own IR loader from whatever company you want. Apparently, the IRDX technology is by Bogren Digital. And what that is, I don't know. I'm thoroughly unprepared for this review. We'll dial it and see what it does, Mr. Bogren. And then we have an effects section with that's post amp, very, very flexible. We're going to call it API style EQ. Limiter, don't know if we want that, but you can squish it a bit afterwards. A delay, analog slap and digital in beats per minute or milliseconds. And a reverb. But the amp already has a reverb. So reverb in amp or post amp. We're going to start getting some sounds with the stumps off, with clean, a little bit of verb. And this Valiant guitar, Soothsayer, that's the HP42 spec. That's my spec. If you want exactly that guitar, you can get it because it's my spec. I said I want a Wenge neck, Wenge maple, locking tuners, hip shot, maple fretboard. Look at the beautiful top. Exactly that color. All that stuff, you can get that guitar exactly like that from Valiant. And for the people that are asking, where can you get that sweater? Because you want to wear, obviously, unicorns, links below to Mr. Gugu in Poland, which is also where this is from, I think. Let's turn the effects off. Oh, that P90 is kind of buzzy. No, wait. The stomp is still on. Here we go. There's also a tuner. Let's see. I mean, $49, guys. That's ridiculous, okay? And even if it's 79 later or whatever it is, that's pretty cool. Tuner works. So, amp clean. Here we go. Clearly has its own flavor. Very, very, very clearly. I'm going to put the boost in front of it. Has an aggressive edge and a very unique mid-spectrum, very, very mid-forward. We're gonna go to the stomp section. So, let's look at the steel part with the clean channel. Oh, man! Very different flavor. And then on 2, gonna go to the monolith. Turn that off. Just great sounds, guys. Wow. I'm not fiddling with the knobs. I mean, no. Just got another comment where someone said, would be nice if the reviewer could play. Assholes. So, we're still on the clean channel. Gonna move on to the rhythm channel. Come on. I mean, yes, we could fiddle with the... There's no typical bright switch and all that stuff. Let's see what the tone does. It seems to be doing different things at the same time. Dynamics, what does that do? Seems to be more like a low end kind of a thing. Okay. So we're moving to a little bit less reverb here. The rhythm channel. It sounds so tube like, I mean, wow. This is with the rhythm gain at 1. It really sounds like an amp moving air. Very impressive. I'm at 5 and the pre-boost is off. The low end was a little bit too woofy, but with the dynamics and the bass, you can dial it in. Should we boost this? I don't see why, but I mean, we will. Without the gate? How do I turn that up? I turn it with the boost, it's just so much, it turns fuzzy. Definitely different flavors right there. Less gain on the rhythm, but with the boost, and then, you know, either or. It's not all about gain, it's about flavors. We're moving on to the lead. Let's compare to the rhythm. Very similar, but damn, that Laney Ironheart flavor is there, and I'm torn between it's too much and too aggressive, and boy, do I want to write a song with that. So by itself, the lead gain isn't that much, not that much more than the rhythm. Very careful with that tone up, but it is very effective. Let's build a lead sound. We are boosting it with the monolith. We've got no boost on in the lead channel on 8, and all I'm doing now is adding a delay. Let's go through those delays. Maybe with less gain. Let's do some little bit less gain there. Very digital. Slappy. We got the reverb. Let's do the EQ there. Yeah, you can completely shape your sound any way you want. And now the limiter. It feels like we're pushing that a little bit too far there. The cap section. Not much to see here. Let's switch to the other cap. We're on the LA 412. On the GS 412. So you can clearly, by going to one of the mics and then listening to that, dialing it in, and then together, you can clearly get loads of variety. That's not English. You can get variety is what you can get. You can see really fast. So let's see what the IRDX thing does. You can also switch on one side to one cap, and then you can mix caps. Like right now, the 57 is doing the LA, and the other one is doing the GS. I cannot tell you what the X thing by Bogren does. No idea. Thing is, if you don't hear it, leave it where it was. That's what I'm saying. Air. And that was the Laney Ironheart new series plugin directly released with the amps from Aurora component. Some very, very smart people. I have to say that everything sounds very tubey, very organic, very alive. This does not sound modelly-ish to me. It does not sound Helix-ish to me. It doesn't sound profiled, if you ask me. Maybe it is. I have no idea. You're gonna have to find out where to grab things. Too much low end. Do you go to the bass? Do you go to the dynamics? Do you go to the post EQ? You want to find out where you're boosting. Are you using your gain on the channel? Are you using the pre-boost big red knob? Or are you going to the stomps? Those are things you want to find out in your first playthrough with it. It can do a lot from, I'm going to say, unique cleans. This is not your Fender clean. It's not your Tone King. It's not your, it is mid-forward. It's different. It has a sound. Everything has a sound, and I like that. I'm not the biggest fan of here's my software, whether that's Helix Native or Helix Floor or Amplitude, which is great, but I don't like that they overwhelm you with a billion things. The Neural or Aurora approach of here's one amp, here's one thing, focus on that, and we're not going to take $400. We're going to take sub 100. Again, $50 now, probably a little bit more once you miss that deal. Honestly, for $50, holy crap. Holy crap. Effects, caps, very unique sounds. If you're doing aggressive stuff, you're doing metally things, and I think the Laneys are very popular for the Doom people, it's all there. I could produce, let's say, a more aggressive rock album with that, drop D stuff, even 7-string, and get all the sounds I want, and not go to my amp wall. If I had, I have my amp wall, it's nice, okay? And it doesn't have an Ironheart on it, but it's got a Laney LA30BL in it, which is killer. But if I didn't have that, and I worked with this, I would still come up with an album that could seriously kick ass. Even though I get comments saying, I don't know how to play. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Google me, you idiots. So, thank you, Aurora, for commissioning this. I'm off to NAMM. Maybe I see you guys there. Maybe I don't. Not you guys, the Aurora guys. Put links below. Use them. That helps the guys in Poland. And animals at the end.